Hi there. I wanted to come together and do a super beginner crackle for everyone to see. So I'm using products that, got something in my mold, products that everybody can find, um, and talk about the resin a little bit. So I have this little mold that I got from Amazon and I'm making a mess in. I don't know what I'm doing. There's some black schmutz. I got it. All right. Back on track. So let's talk about the resin. For a crackle, you want thicker resin. Lower viscosity resin will work, but you want to make sure it warms up. So you'll need an infrared thermometer. And I would recommend 38, 40 degrees Celsius. I forget what that is in Fahrenheit. But you do want it very warm. If you don't automatically purchase a thicker resin. Some of the thicker resins are tabletops. Those usually work pretty well. A sign that your resin is thick enough is that after you mix it for about a minute, if it's clear and mixed, it's not a higher viscosity resin. It's a lower viscosity resin. A good higher viscosity resin needs more mixing to combine. It's more work. It's going into the honey type texture. I use, and it's my cheat code, it's a little expensive, this ultra clear epoxy, Art and Craft epoxy. It's the best resin that I've found for doing this, but I've done it with Let's Resin Tabletop, Craft Resin Tabletop, and with just letting J Diction sit and warm. So you can do it with anything. Just follow those clues. If you already have a thick resin, the higher viscosity resin, you can do it from there. If you don't, then let it warm up to about 38, 40 degrees Celsius. If you don't, you're just not going to get larger crackles. Then the next thing, we are using today Let's Resin products. I think they're easy to find. So we have 8 ounces of resin here, and I generally try to do a 50-50 ratio. So for this, I want to have about 3 to 4 ounces of transparent, or my colored transparent, and then the rest for my mica powders. So let's say we're doing 2 ounces in each cup. Let me just check as I go. Well, that's a little shy. All right, so that's 2 ounces. Pull this other cup over here. I'm gonna pop in 2 ounces there. And that worked out well. I have a little more than I need to in here, and that cup's a little bit more. I'm just gonna pop some in. And just look at the cups at the side and see if they're level. They're level now. All right. So for my transparent today, I'm going to use Let's Resin, and this is a resin pigment, and it's rose red. I generally like my transparent to be colored in a little bit stronger color sometimes if I'm using lighter colors. I'm going to go right off with 7 drops of this. And you know what? When I put it in, I noticed I don't think it was mixed up well enough. I'm going to do 3 more drops. That'll get us to 10, then we'll look at it. I meant to use my bigger stick, and I used my small stick. That's okay. You'll notice it is harder to mix the color in because the resin is a higher viscosity. If the color combines very easily, then you've got a lower viscosity resin. And I'm harping on this here because it's, for me, the real trick with this. I'm going to take this stick out because I'm going to get resin everywhere. Wipe off my hand. I don't like my little weird things. I like to use the big stick if I'm using a tall cup. All right, I am going to put 5 more drops of this in here. Remember just to stay 6% or below of your volume of resin for your colorants. That's usually a safe number that doesn't interfere with the curing. Okay, so now we've got our bright pink ready to go. And again, this is a Let's Resin pigment. Now, I'm going to go ahead and put some in this mold and get it to start moving. And then we'll start mixing up our colors. So my first color I'm going to use is this Let's Resin mica powder red violet. The first person I learned the Crackle from is, oh, I've never even opened this, was Julie Cutts. And she used Let's Resin and she used the gold, and it was just absolutely beautiful. So that's what I did. I did exactly what she did, and I was amazed. I still didn't get huge crackle, huge cells, but it was better. And then I found Art of the Cheshire Cat, and she does a magnificent crackle. So I watched her videos to figure out what to do. So you use a pretty big scoop of mica powder. You don't want it to be a small scoop. I have a pretty decent amount of resin in there, so I'm gonna take and grab some more. The thinner your resin that you use, the more mica powder that you want to use. I probably used more mica powder than I needed to, but this is a tutorial video, and the last thing I want is for it to not work like I want, and it can be a little bit heavier, because you need it to struggle to drop. It needs to be heavy. Probably could have used a different colorant because this is going to be pretty close, but that's okay. Because the resin's thicker, I do have to spend more time mixing to make sure it's incorporated. There's nothing worse than unmolding your product and it is what has white flecks, and that's because the mica powder, the powder that's in it, wasn't mixed all the way. Let's Resin's a pretty good mica powder. I generally don't have the problem with it. Eye candy mica powders, I never have the problem with it, unless I've let it set open and it's gotten some moisture in it. Let's Resin, sometimes I have a problem. The off-brand ones I don't even buy anymore because I don't want to risk the white drops. All right, so now the other thing I do, since it's a higher viscosity resin and I don't want to waste a lot of transparent at the bottom, I'm going to go ahead and use my heat gun. I'm going to turn it on, let it warm up for a little bit, and then I'm just going to use it on this. It does two things: helps get rid of the bubbles from the higher viscosity resin and helps us move it along. Because as you know, heat thins the resin. All right, so what I see is I'm probably going to need a little bit more of my transparent. I'm going to let that move a little too. Let's give it another shot of heat. We'll let it move a little bit more while we mix up our next mica powder. I thought about going with the gold, but I decided to let's just do the interference silver. I think when I was holding these two bottles up together, I thought, well, they look pretty cool together. I don't want to go with the gold because this color has a silverish tone to it. So this is what I got. Now, I don't know if you could tell, but this is a thinner powder. It's more powdery, it's loose. If I blow on it, it's probably going to move. So I'm going to use just a bit more than I did with the pink. Eye candy is really cool because they have on their website, with the jars, I don't know what you call it, the thickness, the particle size. Yeah, it's particle size. of the resin, and that lets you know how powdery they are, because there are some products that you just can't use, or you have to like mix some of your paste in with them to get them to work. I'm hoping that this interference powder, that I put enough in here that it's going to work. I'm hoping for just a soft pink product. Let's make sure, do I think I've got it? It needs more mixy. For beginners, I would always do mica transparent. Once you get better, then you can start combining your micas, add some paste, do some different things. It's just when you're initially figuring out how much of everything and what to do, you want to do it the easiest way. Once you figure out, hey, I got this, then you really don't have to do that anymore. Then you can play around some more because you know you're not going to be wasting resin. Just trying to move some of this back into the mold and heat gun again. This will help level it out and let me know if I have enough resin in the mold. I do have enough resin. I'm just going to move it along by covering those spots. All right, so let me bring this to the center. I'm going to start with my darker color. I usually just count to 5 seconds, but I'm talking, so I don't know what I'm at, so that's just going to be it. You want to layer enough so that you have some transparent that the mica needs to push through. If you don't do enough transparent, then your mica has nothing to shove its way through. Get it down kind of low. Let's see how much we've got left. I think this just might be our push here. We'll see how much we get. Yeah, that's just going to be our push. Our final piece, transparent. All right. Now, you should not have pushed your resin all the way to the edge. If you've pushed the mica powder all the way to the edge, you're not giving it any room to crackle at the edge. Now, I grabbed this light pink, and I think that's what I'm still going to go with. It's a little lighter than this. So I debated switching it up, but I think I'm going to stick with it. That might be too much. I don't need quite that much. Drop that in. Give it a little shove down. Since you're not putting a backing, you want to make sure all your bits are down. Oops, I moved one off to the side. We don't want that. See if I can get it out without causing too much havoc. Just a little havoc. Try to push that back. Get back in there, white. All right, that's it. Now, I'm going to wait about 10 minutes, and then I'm going to do some bubble remediation. I am going to take my torch and I'll give it a shot of heat. The reason I wait 10 minutes is I like the bubbles to move towards the center, away from the edge of the mold. If you hit your torch at the edge of your mold, you could burn your resin to your mold. The reason I don't use my heat gun or alcohol is because it could impact the design, and I don't want anything to mess with the design. What I'm thinking we'll see if I'm right, it's going to be mostly pink. If some of the whitish silver comes through, that'll be great. But I'm thinking it's going to be mostly, hopefully a pale pink. Hopefully it'll be very pretty. We'll see. We'll be back when it's time to unmold. All right, we're back to see our simple crackle. There was something I didn't tell you guys that I wanted to tell you. Ooh, I forgot what it was. I turned the video off last night and I'm like, you didn't say this. If I remember, I'll put it in the description. If I remember. I just know there was something. All right. It is the moment of truth. Did we get a nice little pink crackle? Oh yeah, look at that. It's just pretty, and you've got the separate white in here. With the regular crackle effect, you generally don't get strong colors unless you tweak up your pour. You can get them separated. It just takes a little bit more work. But for a beginner, this is just a simple, beautiful crackle. If I used a dark color, you probably would get it showing more through there. But yeah, just a beautiful crackle. Thanks for watching.